name is Jeannie Ohioid, but you can call me Jeannie. Today, we are going to explore the laryngeal elevator muscles. The first muscle on our laryngeal elevator tour is the digastric. This muscle begins at the mastoid process, loops through a ligament near the hyoid bone, and continues to its connection point in the chin. This is a tug-of-war muscle. When everything below the hyoid bone is loose and free, the contraction of the digastric will elevate the hyoid bone. However, if the hyoid bone is secured by the infrahyoid muscles, contraction of the digastric will assist in lowering the jaw. This is an important muscle for swallowing. Next on our tour is the mylohyoid muscle. This muscle forms the floor of your mouth. It's another tug-of-war muscle. When everything below the hyoid bone is loose and free, contraction of the mylohyoid will elevate the hyoid bone. However, when the hyoid bone is secured by the infrahyoid muscles, the mylohyoid will assist in lowering the jaw. It's also a source of tongue tension for singers at times. One thing to keep in mind as we're thinking of tug-of-war muscles is to remember that the mandible is the only bone in the face that is not fused together. It's connected by the temporomandibular joint. So these muscles, when they contract and get shorter, will pull on the jaw, and it's easier to pull the mandible down and back than it is to pull the rest of your face towards the mandible. Next up is the geniohyoid. Geniohyoid is also a tug-of-war muscle. When everything below the hyoid bone is loose and free, when I contract, I help to elevate the hyoid bone. However, when everything is stabilized below the hyoid bone, I assist in lowering the jaw, which I'm really important for swallowing. But something else is that I help to keep the airways dilated. Contrary to what Scott McCoy says in his book, I do help the gola aperta. The penultimate muscle on our tour is the very stylish stylohyoid muscle. You can remember that this is the stylohyoid a couple of ways. One, stylo, it looks kind of like a stylus. However, if you want to think of stylish, then it's like a wired earbud for when you're rocking out to your tunes, or perhaps some long dangly earrings. This muscle, when contracted, helps to elevate the hyoid bone. It is my pleasure to introduce you to our last, but certainly not least, muscle in this tour, my apprentice, thyrohyoid. She's working on her elevation skills by elevating the larynx while at the same time depressing the hyoid bone. She's the only infrahyoid muscle that elevates the larynx. Thank you for joining me on this tour of the laryngeal elevator muscles. Feel free to come visit again anytime.